My name is Jen, and I am on a journey in order to break free from the destructive patterns of disordered eating and in order to embrace a nourishing lifestyle. My roadmap can be described using an acronym of the word Nourisher. So I'm doing daily video blog posts in order to encourage you, equip you, and keep you up to date on my progress. If this content is helpful or encouraging to you, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing with others. It is my deep desire that these videos would help to ignite nourishing transformations in us all.
Hey everybody, and welcome to my Nourisher Check In. I am checking in from the car today. If you checked in yesterday, you know that I'm in the middle of doing some immigration paperwork. I live abroad, and I had to go back to the immigration office today, which is an hour and a half away. So I'm just back into my town, having done that journey, and I'm going to stop and do a check-in with you and then have a walk and then go and pick up my daughter. So I'm really delighted to see you and hope that you are having a very nourishing day. So noticing my emotions is a little bit interesting because on the way home, remember I thought this was going to be the week of sleep, but instead it's been the week of learning how to be with myself, be by myself. And so on the way home, typically, of course, I would have put on an audiobook or YouTube or called someone or done something stimulating. And yet I'm trying to take this time just to carve out spaces in my day when my brain can just be, just free. And so what I did was for an hour on the trip on the way home, I carved out that time to give my brain just space to not be stimulated by anything or engaged in anything. So you're getting my Notice My Emotions check-in from the Nourisher acronym coming off of that time by myself. And what is so interesting is the day has been great. The day's been productive. It's been enjoyable. It's been a really good day. Had a couple of great conversations with some girlfriends on the way into the immigration office. And it's been exciting and it's been rewarding. And yet, as soon as I took this time to just be quiet and be alone with my thoughts as I was driving home, the first thing, almost like an actual bubbling up, the first thing that I noticed was sad. And this feeling of loneliness and this feeling of, like on a deep level, like on a more of an attachment level, if that makes sense to you, but this feeling of being does anyone really know where I am, or is anyone concerned about me, or just this feeling, this deep desire to be loved and known and seen and held and comforted. So I noticed that bubbling up almost to the point of tears, and I was so surprised because I thought, if I was listening to an audiobook right now or YouTube or whatever, would I have even noticed that sad? Would it have even come to my attention? That was really notable to me. And then the second thing was I noticed a great amount of fatigue come up. And again, I thought, wow, if I was stimulating myself with other means, would I even notice that I'm tired? Oh, just to mention. Made a yawn. So I noticed that too. And again, I thought, wow, I probably need way more rest than I ever give myself because I'm just going. And when I do get tired, I tend to, give myself something to keep myself going. And of course, it used to always be food, but I can substitute that with lots of other things in terms of other stimulus or relationships. So this has been so good just to have this carved out time just to be by myself. And this one very sweet lady in my life always says, good noticing. And you know what? It reminds me that noticing doesn't maybe seem like a big step forward, but noticing is a really, really big step for me to notice what it is that I'm feeling, to actually be able to process those emotions or those realities. So good noticing, Jen. Opening up to others. I mentioned on the way to the immigration office, I had a couple of really lovely phone calls. One of the phone calls actually felt like a little bit of a teaser because we only had a few minutes to chat together, and really left me yearning to know how this friend's heart is really doing and what's going on a little bit of a deeper level, but it was still delightful to connect nevertheless. And the other friend too, actually had one friend today who texted me and asked specifically, how is your eating going this week? And I was just so honored that she's a busy mom like me, that she would remember me and specifically that area of my life and open a door for me if I wanted to walk through it to talk with her about how my eating is going this week. So I felt really cared for in that, and was grateful for all the opportunities to open up authentically to other people today. Understanding the cycle. So yesterday, as you know, I did not nourish myself. I took the time and the energy to nourish others over nourishing myself. And so today I got up a little bit early to make sure that I was nourishing myself, because yesterday I did notice that because we were so busy and unexpectedly busy, I ended up restricting throughout most of the day and not eating, and having that little glimmer of, ooh, this is great, I'm not eating. And I really want to challenge and be cautious whenever I feel my body or my thoughts going to that, oh, it would be better if I didn't eat, or it would be better if I didn't have to eat. That desire for a thinner body image, or there's just such a strong mental craziness of, oh, if I didn't have to eat, I would be thinner, and I would have more affection from other people and more approval from other people. It's the way that kind of that train of mind goes. Even though I do not believe those things to be true, there's something deeply in the core of me that goes to that line of thinking very quickly. So today, in order to stay off of that, I needed to make sure that I was nourishing often and that I was not going towards a restrictive pattern. And that went well. So I was grateful. Now I'm starting to feel peckish again, so I'm going to need to pick up my girls and have a snack together with them, which I'm looking forward to. Rewiring my brain. Of course, a lot of this happened in this time that I had carved out just to be by myself. But first to notice what came up, and then as those different emotions or thoughts came up, to try to use some of these brain rewiring exercises and activities in order to try to quiet, calm, or process them. So for example, when the sadness came up, I used that special sigh that Dr. Andrew Huberman taught us about, the physiological sigh, where you take a deep breath in and then try to take a little bit more, and then a long exhale, just to help calm and soothe the body in order to eliminate excess carbon dioxide. Maybe that's why I was so fatigued, because I was getting myself into such a relaxed state, which I probably shouldn't do when I'm driving. But so that was really helpful. I also, in one of the conversations with one of my girlfriends this morning, we were talking about, she said, hey, I tried that half smile thing that you've been doing. And I said, how did it go? And she said, it was really surprisingly effective. And I said, yeah, me too. I'm always surprised by just how doing that half smile can really change my, neurochemistry and hormone makeup and how I'm feeling in the moment. And so I did quite a few half smiles. And I also spent a beautiful amount of time in appreciation. So again, appreciation isn't just making a list of gratitude or things that we're thankful for, but it's going back and reliving a memory of a sweet time, a time that we would love to relive again. And for me, these appreciation times have a very spiritual element in that I actually ask God to give me a time, to remind me of a time that I would love to relive, or a time that I felt known or seen or experienced joy. And today I had a specific request for God, and that was, could He please give me a specific appreciation memory for each member of my immediate family, meaning my 3 daughters and my husband. And it was so beautiful. Just these little reminders, almost like a movie playing in my mind, of these precious little times with my girls. My one girl, painting with her, both of us side by side, and enjoying what each other was creating, and looking up and celebrating with each other and spurring each other on. And with another, she came up, she's such a monkey, and we had a little impromptu dance in the living room the other day, and I dipped her, and just her big brown eyes looking up at me and big smile. And so just enjoying that memory. And with my other daughter, the memory that came to mind was she has to do these reading exercises every day. And the other day when she did them, she curled right up into my lap. So it was like me and her and the book. And it was so nice to be snuggled up so close. And then I think I mentioned to you one of my really favorite memories with my husband, being invited into his hammock and feeling really wrapped up in his care and in his love, and being able to just really rest together there. So I had these sweet, sweet memories to be reminiscent of today. And again, that Chris Corsi saying of healthy minds are full of appreciation. And that is true, but we can practice appreciation in order to help our minds be healthier. And so that was a delight to do today as I spent this time letting my mind wander. So that's how I was rewiring my brain today and letting my brain rest in healthy places. Insulin-friendly eating I've already talked about quite a bit in terms of the things that I planned for today. I haven't made egg salad in a long time, so that was one of my high protein, satisfying things to take with me for lunch today. And have just been, was really grateful that I had sat down and had a really proper breakfast, complete with minestrone soup. I had this really yummy minestrone soup left over. So I'm tried to eat really nourishing and heartily today, and I'm already looking forward to my next snack. Did I mention that my hunger cues are feeling a little bit more normal? I don't know that I could say that, because I don't know that I know what normal hunger cues are. Because I know that my hunger cues have been so messed up for so long, having abused my body with disordered eating. But it does seem that my metabolism seems to be revving a bit, and I do seem to be having more of a healthy, not like a craving where my body's demanding something, but more of a prompting of, okay, it's time now. And that it's begun, because I have been hydrating so well, I know that, at least today, I know that it was probably my body actually wanting food and not mistaking a thirst cue for a hunger cue. So sleep, I finally had a good sleep last night. A couple of things I think that helped with this, after I thought that this was going to be the week all about sleep, and it turned out that my sleeps have been horrible. But one thing that helped was that I turned down the temperature a half a degree in my room. I really love having a heavy blanket on at night. But on warm days, I feel foolish because I think, it's a waste for me to make the room colder in order to have a heavy blanket on. But when I try to just take the heavy blanket off, I don't sleep as well. So I kept a heavier blanket on, turned down the room by half a degree. Another thing that really helped is that my husband didn't have to work late last night. So we were able to go to bed at the same time, which meant, first of all, he wasn't waking me up when he was coming in later. And also he typically works on the floor above me, so I didn't hear him rustling around. And there's just something so comforting about going to sleep together. So those two changes really made a big impact. Also, I think emotionally I was in a more settled place, and I'm curious and wonder whether or not that also helped me to have a more sustained sleep throughout the night. So I'm hoping for another good night's sleep tonight. Maybe next week will be the week of sleep. Hydration, I mentioned, went really great. Today I had bottles ready by the door. I grabbed them with me for my trip and have already gone through 2. I'm on my 3rd one now. I'll take it with me walking. So it's really helped me manage my hunger cues throughout the day. And exercise, I'm just about to go for my walk. Again, it's been rainy and I've been driving a lot. So it hasn't been easy to get exercise in this week, as you know, but I am looking forward to heading out on this walk. And I am so grateful that there are noticeable changes in my mind, noticeable changes in my body, noticeable changes in things like hunger cues, noticeable changes in my digestion. Like, so many things are changing for the better. And so I'm very hopeful that this journey that I'm on is a good one, and that the journey that you're on is a good one too. And I hope that you've had a nourishing day. And if you haven't, then there is grace upon grace to restart again tomorrow. And I am already looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks again.